Hello, I'm Jeff Embry and the CEO of ECW Hunting Calls, and next to me here is Melissa Smock, who's our graphic designer. And here at ECW Hunting Calls, we make duck, goose, deer, and turkey calls. And all of our products and all of our calls that we make here are handmade one at a time. Something that we pride ourselves on is that we hand make our calls. They're not mass produced in some factory overseas. We don't have pre-made parts shipped in. Everything here is handmade. So part of our duck call series here, we'll use a different variety of different rare and exotic woods, and we can get these in single reed or double reed. And there's a three-step coating process that we use in our duck calls that it seals the wood, it gives it an amazing sound, and the third coat is an acrylic base, which just gives you a phenomenal resonating tone with those high-pitched cracks that you can't get out of a piece of plastic. What I'm showing you today is on our turkey calls. We have our mood setter, which is our dual-sided turkey call that we're also making for ArrowTV.com, and something we're very proud of. And what makes our turkey calls unique is that we have a double-sided call. So you can have glass on one side and you can have slate on the other side. And we also have a glass soundboard inside to help with your acoustic tones, get that great sounding pitch, and you can get those really loud calls out there. Also, what makes ours a bit unique is we have two separate air chambers inside the call, but they share the same air holes in the back, just giving you just a phenomenal, great resonating tone. And what inspired us to make these double-sided turkey calls is we would, from experience ourselves and talking to other hunters, they would talk about having to carry two calls out there with them, because a lot of times when turkeys are really feeling the heat, they hear the same sound over and over and over and over. Sometimes you want to mix it up a little bit. So we also make our calls in slate, copper, ceramic, and glass. But instead of having to carry two calls into the field, you can carry one call and get two different tones all out of the same call. So you can have your glass, and if you want to mellow it out a little bit, you switch over to your slate. So you can get the best worlds out of one call here that we make here from ECW. Now also, like I mentioned earlier about, we use the different rare and exotic woods, which gives us a specialty in that we know what woods will give you a great resonating tone, so that we can, some of the calls, so we can specify on the thickness of the wood, the diameter, the size of the diameter of the hole inside, the reed setup, the length, and everything else, so that you just get a great, phenomenal tone out of our calls. Plus, all of our calls come with a lifetime guarantee on them. And something else that we know, so people know that their calls were handmade, something we do in all of our calls, every call we make, we date and serial number every call we make. That way you know it's something special and it's unique, and that somebody took the time to go through it, and these were handmade to show the specialty behind it. These ones right here are actually part of our limited edition series. We make 25 of these each year. They're all numbered 1 through 25 each year, and they're part of our limited edition series. Then we have our goose calls. We also have a regular duck call series. We also have our whiskey barrel series. We have some suppliers that own some distilleries for whiskey and bourbon, and they'll ship us the barrels. We'll disassemble them, and then we'll manufacture them into duck and goose calls, and they have a little bit of that hint of the bourbon and some of the aroma. Like I mentioned here for Melissa, she does our graphic art. She's our graphic artist, and she designs the logos for our different people that we make our calls for, and puts together our different packing slips. So we make calls for a multitude of other different organizations, like the ISU NWTF Turkey Foundation, Westwoods Lodge out of Springfield, Illinois. We make a 5-tone deer grunt that has an adjustable reed on the inside, so you can do fawn, doe, do a young buck, junior buck, then you can do a really, really deep snort. So that way, instead of having to carry a multitude of calls with you, you can have one call that you can make such a wide assortment of calls out of. And something else that I thought that I really liked about what you did on the deer grunt ones, you actually started putting recipes on the inside of them. So when you buy like an ECW duck call or a deer grunt, when you open up inside your packing slip, you actually have recipes inside of them on our new 2015 series that's coming out this year. If you would like to find our products, Dry Creek Firearms in Chillicothe, Illinois carries our turkey calls, and also Presley's in Bartonville carries our 5-tone deer grunt and carries our turkey calls there also. And if you'd like to know more about us, you can look us up on Facebook under ECW Hunting Calls and at embrycustomwoodworking.com, or you can feel free to stop in down here and see us at 825 Southwest Adams, Peoria, Illinois, 61602. We're right by Dozer Park and across the street from the restaurant named Sugar.